Hi, this is Darren from Property Posterity. I was reading an article the other day when the headline was, "Has your agent had less training than your barista?" And I thought, hang on, that doesn't sound right. And then when I read through it, so I started thinking about it, and it was talking about how agents in New South Wales and Victoria, to become a real estate agent over there, all you need to do is a 5-day course. So basically, within a week, you're out there and you're selling, hundreds of $1,000 property, $1 million properties. And crazy thing about that is, when you think about it, for a lot of people, that's their life savings gone into buying that property. And then you've passed it over to someone that's basically had a 1-week course when, if someone's making you coffee, even someone working at McDonald's, you would expect them to have more than a week's training before they go out there and, making you. Hey, Paul Verrill, thanks for joining. So you'd hope they'd have more than a week's course before they go out there and, make your hamburger or a hot dog or whatever. So, it's pretty crazy that people are coming here and they're selling $1 million properties. They've only done a 1-week course. So I suppose the thing for me is, I've just built up so many skills over the years, and so I just assume that everyone's got similar sort of skills, and so sometimes I forget. In Adelaide, what they have done is the Real Estate Institute in Adelaide, they've brought in they understand there's limitations with the training and development as far as real estate agent goes, and sometimes that's part of the reason why people get agents get a bit of a bad name. Maybe not because they're intentionally out there to deceive people. Maybe they just don't understand, or they're not clear of and I think you got to remember too is that it's a pretty hard job being a real estate agent. Obviously, you work on commission, and it's quite difficult to you don't get any money until you sell the property. And so when you're starting out, that's really hard to get out there and meet people and sign up properties and sell it. So it creates a situation where you've got to really get out there and try and make things happen. So I suppose it's a really difficult job to do, and likewise you've had very limited amount of training, so you're getting out there trying to do the job the best you can, and then at the end of the day you're dealing with someone's life, the biggest asset they own. So it's a pretty scary thing at the end of the day. So then I thought, what training, what experience would they need to be able to be a real estate agent, I suppose. So now look back what I do day to day. Really what I'm doing day to day is just solving problems. So it's really about experience. I think the danger with just someone saying, "Hey, I've got lots of experience, so take my word for it." Just because you've got experience doesn't actually mean you actually know what you're talking about. I've experienced that with tradies in the past. They might have been doing it for 30 years, but they might not actually know what the building code is, or what's required, or what's the safest way of doing things. So just because someone's been doing it for a long time doesn't necessarily mean that they know what they're doing. Likewise, just because someone's had lots of training, it doesn't necessarily mean that they know what they're doing either. So I think it's really a blend. You really got to look at a blend between the two. The hard thing at the end of the day is just constantly solving problems. So really, my background, I've done heaps of stuff. So basically, I used to be an accountant and a property developer, and I've got like a mortgage broking company, and I've got a real estate company, and I've got a builder's license. And I've just done hundreds of developments. I've done thousands of property transactions, really. So, but the cool thing about doing lots and lots of transactions, you get to see lots of examples of where things go wrong, and you get to try and work out how to fix it, really. But also the benefit of actually doing some training that backs that up is you can actually, critically assess whether that's the right way of trying to resolve an issue. And also you want to make sure you're doing it in the most legal way, I suppose, too. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. Really, at the end of the day, it's really difficult because if it is a 5-day course in Adelaide, we've got it's a 6-week course to become a real estate agent, which is I suppose it's better than 5-day course, but still it's not really that long when someone's going to go out there and sell your property. So the question then is, how are you going to sort it out? The thing is, do you want someone that's young and enthusiastic, or do you want someone that's old and experienced, but maybe you've lost their enthusiasm, their passion, really? I'd probably bring it back to, you consider your asset, which is, you spend all your life trying to save up this money for this property. It's probably the only thing you own of huge value. If you look at it, your health is probably something that's, similar sort of importance to you. So, probably more important, I suppose, in reality. But, people do value their property. If you're going to get someone, a doctor or a brain surgeon to operate on you, you wouldn't want someone doing a 5-day course. You wouldn't want even someone doing a 6-week course. You want to know that person has not only had all the training and understands the technical understanding, but also you want to know that you're not the first person they've tested out on. So, the thing is, if you have that brain surgeon, he could be the first time he's operated, and he might have all the enthusiasm of the world, and he really loves his job, and he really wants to do the best he can. But I suppose you don't want to be the first person he's testing it out on. Likewise, the other side of the coin, you don't want to have someone that's really experienced that doesn't have the qualifications and experience, but also the most up to date You know, just because they knew how to do it 50 years ago, and that was the technology and then the knowledge required 50 years ago, you know, you've got to make sure they're constantly keeping update with the latest trends, the latest ways to try and market and present your property. So that's the thing I'd ask. If you're looking at a young person, again, you're just trying to imagine, you know, have they got the runs on the board? Do they have the qualifications? You know, and enthusiasm is really important at the end of the day too. But you know, I suppose you don't necessarily want to be the first person that you sell their property for. Then likewise, someone with huge amounts of experience, you know, you'd like someone to have some experience, but you also want some qualifications to back that up. And also, are they up to date with the latest ways of marketing properties? You know, there's so many new ways of marketing a property. You know, it's not just a matter of whacking an ad on the internet, putting a sign out the front anymore. You know, there's a lot more to selling a property than there was back in the old days. And buyers are a lot more educated than they were in the old days. So really, agents having to adapt to the knowledge of buyers, really. You know, the days when agents had all the information, they knew everything and the buyers knew nothing, you know, that's long gone now. The days of trying to mislead anybody, you just can't do that. You really got to be open and honest and give people as much information as possible and try and help the process. And the easier you make it for someone to buy a house, the more likely they are to buy it and the more likely they pay more money for it. So I can see a few likes coming along. I can see, so I appreciate that, guys. And thanks for joining Daniel Richardson, a fellow real estate agent. So thanks for joining too. And Leanne, thanks for checking out my videos. She's been catching out a few of my videos and gave me some really nice feedback, so I appreciate that too. And so if you have liked my video, you know, feel free to click like. If you think someone else might get some use out of this, you know, it'd be great if you click on a share as well. Or if you've got something you'd like me to chat about next time, then yeah, put a comment in the comment box and I'm happy to answer any questions you got. Or likewise, if you want to give me any feedback, good or bad, then I'm happy to take on feedback. Obviously, I appreciate anything I can. And hopefully you found it useful, and I look forward to talking to you guys next time. Thanks, guys. Bye.